All right, good morning, everyone. We'll call this meeting to order. We have a couple sets of road minutes. We've got September 24th of this year and October 1st of this year. I'd entertain a motion to approve minutes,
Move to approve September 1st and September 24th minutes.
September 24th and October 1st.
Oh, October 1st, I'm
Yep.
sorry. October 1st and September 24th.
Thank you.
Second.
Very much. Thank you, Commissioner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, very good. Got the minutes out of the way. I guess we can go ahead down your agenda, Bear.
Perfect. Well, not a lot to discuss. Some phone calls over the weekend and yesterday about plowing and sanding, and this morning, as we've kind of discussed, it's just transitional time period between weather, and unfortunately, we can't really do much on gravel unless we get a lot of snow without destroying the road. But the guys have been out checking roads. We've been keeping an eye on it. If there are trouble areas, the plows have been out doing a little bit of plowing and sanding and just doing what we can with what's out there. Still getting a couple of requests for grading. Some of them I think are pretty unrealistic, but we're looking at them and inspecting them. Some of the roads we just graded a couple weeks ago, so I know they're not bad. I was just on them last week.
They washboarding or what's the complaint?
There's a couple little washboard spots, but we're talking like 50-yard spots of washboard on a 2-3 mile road that they're complaining about.
Gotcha.
The easiest solution is to slow down. We do look like we might have a little bit of cooperative weather tomorrow and Thursday, that there are a few pretty bad spots, specifically on Cedar Hills, Lower Valley, and then one other area that we're going to try and put a blade on with the moisture we've had, and a little bit warmer temps through the weekend would help out a little bit there. So crew updates, Montana City guys, like I said, the last couple of days have really been out just checking roads and plowing and sanding as needed. Still working on some culvert maintenance. And then last Thursday, they helped the Boulder guys down on Cataract do a big patch project we did. The Boulder guys, so we had that section just above the cattle guard there on Cataract by Jackson's property driveway. It was about a 100-foot long blown out portion of road. So we put a bunch of millings in there and laid it back out and rolled it in. It looks really good. Looks almost like we paved it.
Nice.
Hopefully it just holds together.
That gets a lot of traffic up there.
Yeah, it does. Fixed up some of the edges there too, just kind of along the shoulders where people are pulling off and on the road and breaking the shoulders up. So hopefully that'll do.
Is that millings from the Basin Road up to the cattle guard? Is that millings or is that actually paved? You know?
I believe it's millings.
Is it?
Yeah, it's either millings or it's like, so talking to Rory a few years ago, I believe that portion was kind of a mix of millings and chip seal.
Okay.
None of it's paved.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. It's good up to the dump there.
Yeah. Some of that they had put millings down, and then when they chip sealed, they said they had a little extra, so they went a little farther with some double chip seal. But that's kind of where it broke up, was at that transition between the millings and the chip seal. Got that done, so that was a big deal. That's been blowing out since I started here. We've been one of them projects that keeps getting put on the back burner. I've also been going around doing a lot of snow markers and delineators, making sure we have all the hazards marked throughout the area for our plow routes. Working on some more brush mitigation. Right now they're down on Quainance, working on the other side of the road from what we did last winter and getting that cleared out.
Is your mini X working for that or?
So far,
So good.
yeah,
Good.
so far. A lot of it we worked with the ranchers down there, where a lot of it we're just pulling out by the roots, just grabbing with the machine and pulling them out and hauling them over to Mobile Goat, just letting us stack them at one of their pits so we can burn them this winter.
Nice.
And then the stuff that's kind of right along or in the fence that we don't want to pull, we're using the mulcher head to kind of mow that down and mitigate it. But it's worked pretty good. It looks really nice down there. It really helped with the drifting last winter. And so getting the other side of the road should really help even more. I've got to get down and meet with Brett Smith about doing along his property. That's getting really overgrown on both sides of the road, becoming a safety hazard. That'll be our next highlighted area. Whitehall guys been kind of hit and miss. They've both kind of been in and out sick, but they've been staying fairly busy helping with some trees and brush mitigation, some sign maintenance, and then doing a lot of equipment maintenance and cleanup in our spare time as well. Just a couple other items I sent last night, and then I presented you a kind of a revised copy of our snow removal policy. Nothing's really changed from our previous policy, other than I added in just some more clear language on why we don't plow gravel roads when they're not frozen, when and where we sand and plow, and put kind of the whys behind it. This is a combination of our previous policy and as well as the kind of guideline policy put out by LTAP a couple of years ago, just for better language, but the actual, what we do is not changing.
You get any feedback? In regards to this yet?
But I haven't put it out to the public.
Or you want to call them, that you think so?
This is what we've told people for years.
Right.
Just some of them, if you don't have it in black and white writing, they don't
Right.
understand it. So we've just kind of changed some language in it to clarify it so they can read it and understand, and maybe reduce some phone calls to us.
I thought we used to have a 2 inch or 3 inch,
It's always been 3 inch, and it's.
Is it
on the
listed here?
back page there, but the third paragraph down.
oh, okay, I saw it, yeah, okay. There we go. Thank you.
One of the questions we had a lot before was why we're doing certain roads over subdivisions, or why subdivisions might not be hit till later in the day until the next morning. And so I just clarified in here when subdivision roads might be done, so they can
Bus
understand the
routes.
priorities. Yeah, just a lot of clarification.
Cul-de-sacs.
So if there's no concerns, we're gonna put that out on the website, and I think I'll have Polly and Doug put it out on the Facebooks just as a reminder going into winter.
It says gravel, the roads will be sanded only in emergency situations or at the discretion of the road and bridge supervisor. I mean, is that? What is
And
that?
how we've always done that, because the sand is not good for the gravel, for the road. The salt in there will help deteriorate the fines.
Oh, gotcha.
So it causes a lot of damage through the years.
Okay.
Plus, on a gravel road, you get gravel coming up through the snow,
Mhm,
so it's got its own traction. If you put sand down on a gravel road, it doesn't necessarily have that hard surface of asphalt underneath the ice for it to stop and give you the traction. It just pushes it into the gravel and helps. It deteriorates it. It also breaks up that surface, grinding that sand into the frozen gravel.
Okay.
So it's something, it's a situational, there's definitely some times and areas that we'll put some sand down. But we don't want it to be, it was kind of said, we got to manage our expectations of service. And if we tell people that it's when needed instead of all the time, maybe we won't have to go out and sand gravel roads every day.
It's a nuisance in the ditch too, it's a nuisance to handle, it's.
Yeah, it's a big
Yeah.
problem with sand on gravel roads. It's interesting talking to a lot of other county supervisors, but there aren't a lot of counties that even use sand on any of their roads, including gravel or asphalt roads, because they've got so few miles that they don't use quite a bit. Talking to Madison County, they use about 200 yards of sand in the Twin Bridges district a year, and we're using roughly about 4,000 to 5,000 for the county. So I mean, they barely sand any of their stuff.
How do they get by with
They just tell them they don't sand.
it? I mean.
They're like Whitehall, don't get snow.
The
Yeah, they
stop
just-
signs, the stop signs get
They
slippery.
get enough snow that they have snow blowers.
Yeah, do that.
But and a lot of them is because they have gravel roads, and it's just not beneficial to sand gravel roads most of the time. We're sitting at about 80 miles of asphalt road, which is pretty high on the spectrum outside of your big counties like, where Missoula and Lewis and Clark, some of these other big ones.
That's what you have, 80.
Yeah, it's 79 miles,
Oh.
about 28 miles per district.
I don't see anything in here about the berm that you leave along the road when you're plowing, like.
On the
across
driveways?
It says not to snow or plow snow into driveways and approaches whenever possible. But I don't see anything about the berm. I think we get on every year for a berm, but I don't see that in here.
It's
Unless I'm missing
there, yeah.
I think we want to avoid talking about it. don't we?
So about the
Yeah.
middle of the page, the
Yeah.
county will make a reasonable effort to not plow snow into driveways and approaches whenever possible. However, the county is not responsible for snow plowing into driveways.
Yeah, that to me doesn't say a berm. I mean, to me, that means you're pushing it up into their driveway or,
I can
Blocking.
clarify that.
what's that?
I can clarify.
Yeah, I'd have berm in there somewhere because, you know, every time we just plow by somebody's driveway and leave a pile of snow.
Oh, yeah,
along the
heard that
road.
one before.
There's just no, yeah, there's just no way to clean that up.
The city of Boulder, if you look at theirs, I don't know who put that together, but that's pretty clear that we go past your place and we leave a berm of snow and we're not responsible for that.
And that's nationwide.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's.
I'm sure the complaint is too.
What's that?
I'm sure the complaint is too.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming from a long line of snow plowers, it's one that I've heard for decades.
So yeah, that'd be great. Get that fixed
I can definitely do that.
and then get it to us and maybe we can have Bruce get it on the website and Facebook page maybe. Just get it out there.
Yeah, I'd just like to get it out there. Hopefully some people will see it, maybe reduce some of the plowing across our roads and a few of the phone calls with questions that are on here. I don't think it will, but it's worth it, worth a shot.
No, every place I look, I see that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we've reached out to all the snowplow contractors that we know of or that we have information for, like Gruber and some of the others, and reminded them to tell their drivers, and they all claim that they don't do that, so I don't agree.
A lot of them are these little pickup plows, you know,
Yeah,
and they drop it right to the ground and go.
yeah,
They don't even have any skids on it, so.
yeah. And then the last thing I had on there is we did receive the road guard system, which is that road
Sensing.
sensor system. They're currently installing that in my truck right now. We got the login and everything for the online today and got that set up. So they want us to get 3-4 days worth of data compiled or gathered, put together. And then we'll have a video training with the company to kind of go through how to best utilize and read the data and
Mhm.
make sure we're getting it the best we can. And go from there. I'm pretty excited about that one. It'd be nice to be able to see what the actual condition of our road is compared to our other roads.
Is it GPS it at the same time?
Yeah, GPSs, and then it has its own cellular service that uploads it to our database online to the cloud or whatever.
Oh, nice.
So it's essentially real-time data. If I, it still relies on us driving the roads. So some of the roads that we may not drive as often won't be updated as regularly, but our higher maintenance or higher priority roads, we can make a point to hit them more often. And at least every couple of weeks, you should be able to see the condition of what that road's in.
That'll give you an idea too, the ones you're not getting to. Look at the map. Oh, I haven't been there for a while.
Yeah.
There, go check that out, whatever.
And once we get it all set up, we can get you gentlemen login, so you're getting complaints about the condition of a road, you can just pull it up and see. Well, it's in the green, so I know these guys just did it and they drove it yesterday and it's.
Give them the BS answer.
Yeah, call BS on it.
You can always just. Well, I'm looking here on the computer, I see.
Yeah, and the camera shows it's perfectly smooth.
Yeah. That's all I kind of got for today.
So while you're still here, this thing with Murphy, Dan,
Yeah,
what's the name of that road?
Shawnee Springs.
Springs, yeah.
Well, Ladena and Bear have looked into this. And
Right,
They
right.
have determined that, there's no, they can't tell that it's a county road or a public
Okay.
road.
Okay.
I found actually, and I had a little stack sitting in a box next to my desk. That some time ago Leonard had brought over a bunch of paperwork on it.
Mhm.
And there's actually a petition back from the 40s. But it's all in meets and bounds. So I don't have the time, nor do I have the wits to be candid with you, to go on a map and say, okay, this is what the line of this road is, but the short of it is,
Yes.
if it is in fact related to this section of Shoddy Springs that he's complaining about, the petition was denied by the commission. But I don't know if that's applicable here or not. And then this Murphy's claim about this judge,
Right.
Judge Blair, back in who knows whenever, telling some party.
Oh, he was a stern looking son of a gun.
Yeah, telling some party that, well, no, it had, you can't tell that it's abandoned. I can't use that. Murphy can't use it either. So I don't know what to do with the guy other than to tell him what he's already been told, I think.
And that's the way I look at it, I don't know what the big thing is all about, but he evidently, in his own mind, he doesn't wanna see it all closed
Well,
off.
the guy's gonna obviously probably block the road off. And
I
then,
think there's a guy that's already doing that.
Yeah.
and then what, do we do anything?
Well, if it's a private road, we don't have any,
Yeah,
we don't have any authority.
Yeah, if you're saying it's privacy, I guess that's neat.
And I think, didn't Ladena say that there's a bunch of easements up there that have been granted for access to people?
That I don't remember. I don't remember having that conversation.
Wasn't
Easements
there a
off of-
document saying it was closed? Shirley Springs Road was closed at some point? You remember?
Easements from a road that was never accepted?
Well, possibly, I don't know. And the only way you're gonna be able to tell that is for somebody to sit down with a map and look at what the petition related to and track that route. I don't think that's the county's job. I mean, and this guy actually wants it to be, wanted to petition for it to be a county road, he could go through that petition process. That's not to say that the county would agree to make it a county road. But then if it's a private road, if that's from the baseline that we're operating from, that it's a private road, then we get into the issue of, okay, does the county have to pay money to the people? Because in essence, it's kind of a quasi eminent domain type situation, because you're taking away their property.
It was a taking.
You have to buy the right of way.
Yeah, you get by the right of way.
I think personally, at this time, we've spent more than enough effort researching this, and any other road situation that's been similar, we've told the resident or the concerned party that it's their obligation to prove us right or wrong from the opinion we've given them. And that they need to pay to the title companies or whoever to do the research, and I think we're beyond that point.
I don't disagree.
I'll tell him then. I mean, that's what I needed to know, clarification.
Yeah.
If he wants to pursue it, he's gonna have to do it civilly and go through all the formalities.
Yeah, I remember when Shoddy Springs came up before.
It was a long time ago.
It seems like it was that young lad that we had on the planning board. He was off of Shoddy Springs or something too, and wanting to keep it open. But
And I swore there was a document that said it was closed at some point, but we don't use the term closed in our road stuff anymore.
Well, but if you're going back to into ancient history.
Closed is abandoned back
Yeah,
then.
they close may be synonymous with abandonment. And one of the issues is when you start getting into those the old version of the code, the revised codes of Montana, or even the territorial laws, if you want to go back that far, they're pretty thin.
are they defined the same?
To me, abandonment and closed is synonymous.
so it's silly to-
You know, if it's a matter of statutory construction, if a word is not defined, then it's determined to have the meaning that as it is used in the general English language. So closed means closed, and so I just tell them that, Dan, say that you talked with me, that it's been vetted by the road supervisor and the planner, that we can find nothing to establish that this is a public right of way.
Okay.
And if he wants to prove us up, to make an effort to prove otherwise,
Mhm.
then it's incumbent upon him to hire a title company to
Or petition to bring it in as a road.
our petition to bring it in. as a
And
county
I'll tell
road.
him, we'll tell him right now, we'll turn it down.
I'm sure Barrett would just love to have another road on his inventory.
We haven't accepted one since 96, so we're not going to now.
Yeah, but he can go through the process.
He's welcome to, that's what the law says.
Yeah, I mean, that's his right.
We can make it a county road, but it's gonna be a non-maintained.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for the clarification, appreciate it. I'll let him know if he wants to watch this, he can watch it. I got two others, I got questions, gentlemen, to include you, counselor, where are we at on the Altamine Road gate up there? Whatever, did you ever hear back on that one?
It's interesting you should bring that up. That thing sat dormant
Okay.
forever in a coon's age.
Right.
And the plaintiff, Lerner, what the hell is his name?
Yeah, Lerner, no,
Lerner,
I know, but yeah,
anyway, the plaintiff
Michael.
had served the county.
Right.
He hadn't served either of the defendants. We filed an answer.
Mhm.
Within the appropriate amount of time
Right.
as we were required to do, and then it just sat there.
Said remove him.
Now, we weren't at the point.
Leaper.
Typically, if a case, somebody fails to prosecute a case for 2 years, you can move to dismiss it for failure to prosecute. And if not prosecute means to advance the case, not
I understand
prosecute in the sense of a criminal charge.
what
But probably August or so, I got a call from a lawyer in Missoula with the Crowley Fleck firm, Jeffrey, Lubeck or something like that. His last name escapes me, but one of his clients had been served, which is weird because they're a husband and wife. But the other one hadn't, and so he was asking me what the county's position on it was, and I said, well, the county's position is it's a county road, and he says, well, that's gonna be our position too. So just about 2 weeks ago or so, they finally got the other defendant party served. So we received an order from the court several weeks ago, setting up a pre-trial scheduling conference, which is nothing more than a conference with the judge's court administrator to set dates for, when answers are to be amended, when an amended complaint can be filed, when discovery closes, when you have to have mediation by, all that stuff. We worked out those dates yesterday and have forwarded those dates on to Diane Kotz, who is court administrator. We are waiting word from the plaintiff's lawyer as to whether or not either the 22nd of October or the 29th of October work for a pretrial conference.
October of 25?
Yes.
My goodness.
Oh, yeah, that's the way.
My gosh.
Speedy and
Better here that if we were in Lewis and Clark County, you'd be looking into
They're
26.
pushing us for more district court judges.
We probably.
Stacking up the docket.
Well, this district would actually be better served if they revamped the districts. Because I mean, you got us sitting up here in the north, and then Dillon's included in our, Beaverhead's included.
One of those have 2 days a week down there, don't they?
I don't know that Madison does. Dillon might.
We can't have as.
So anyway, that's kind of where we are with it. This lawyer that's representing this guy, I have a little bit of a question of whether he really knows what he's doing.
On the plaintiff side?
Plaintiff side, yeah, he's a really young kid. I don't think he's been at a law school more than about 2 years, 2 or 3 years. So that's where That's where we are,
Wow, how coincidental. Huh?
chugging along.
Got one more for you. Can you update us on the Martinez Gulch in regards to the parking up there that we had discussed?
I mean, I don't know what there is for me to
Because
update.
was it my understanding that, were you gonna talk to him, Bear, or?
I need to get up there. I just haven't been able to kind of look at what a feasibility would look like for expanding some of the shoulders into a kind of a parking area, but.
But I guess where that property boundaries, or not boundaries, but where the fences and stuff were at,
That's what he's talking.
I guess that's what I need to reiterate, in terms of having to move it back. An individual,
We just gotta get up there and look and see which property owners we need.
is that what we need to do next, is we need to go? up there?
Right.
Yeah,
What we need to
once those are
discuss.
identified, I can write the letter. That's not an issue. Speaking of that. And I'm trading phone calls with the guy. I got a call on Thursday or Friday of last week when I was over at the conference in Billings. From some guy who's connected with the Blackfoot Brewing Company, the Blackfoot River Brewing Company in Helena. And he left this message, about, he says, I'm calling on Martinez Gulch. He says, but I'm not calling to be confrontational. I said, well, that's a breath of fresh air.
That's what they all say.
Yeah.
Well, no, he actually said that apparently they have, their business organization has some money. That they would be, that I think they kind of directed towards outdoor activity type groups and those types of things. But he said that they have some money. I don't know the amount, because like I say, I called him back yesterday and left a message. I haven't heard back from him. That they may be willing to put in the kitty to maybe look at. He mentioned buying property. That's not, well, it would, but buy an easement or something from somebody.
Paving that parking lot, we sure cut down on the fire hazard.
Yeah, true.
So
good.
I'll get info from him, and then maybe I'll put him in contact if it's a money deal. I mean, the county can accept gifts and money.
Yeah, we could use it for signing for sure there,
Well, yeah,
they need to do some signing coming off of that trail up onto the road.
so I'll try
And the
and
parking
continue
area.
to try to get back in touch with him and see what he's got to say. Let you guys know.
Or you could just donate beer to the county commissioners in Jefferson County. And Road Park.
County attorney's office too.
I know that their business works a lot with Prickly Pear Land Trust and other outdoor recreation groups for a lot of conservancy issues, so I know he's heavily involved in that. But,
I don't know how much money we're talking about. I don't know if we're talking about $250 or $2,500 or
Yeah.
what it might be.
That's nice of them.
Well, yeah,
We'll take it.
if we could, if we could get us buy an easement or something to park in.
Have them buy that lot from.
We already have the easement.
Again, so according to the property owners, they've offered Prickly Pear to sell property for a parking lot, and they refused to go that route.
Yeah, doesn't Prickly Pear say the opposite though?
Yeah. Yep, they both
So we got
say the opposite.
this going on.
Yeah.
It's like nobody wants to give an inch. So,
Right.
you guys have to come to some agreement.
Yep. Anything else, gentlemen, for
I
the
don't.
road?
Not today, no.
Give it time.
Yeah, I've been in communication with some of the folks up Corbin Road, and they were talking about maybe getting us up there to have a meeting, and I'm still trying to figure out, I haven't.
Up where?
moved back. Corbin, having a meeting with some of the residents up there, just to get on the
So you
same
go get
page.
yelled at?
I would just invite them to another road meeting.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to be on their turf.
I've been
Yeah.
wondering if it'd do us any good to do a soil test.
Do a soil test for like pH or.
See what's in the damn soil. They're complaining about it sticking to their buildings and they can't wash it.
Yeah, I need to get a hold of Deb and see, cause she said she had it on her patio furniture, was like half an inch thick of just
Yeah, I'd rather we did it rather than letting them do it, but.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
I just wanted to throw that out there, as she was talking about coming in to talk to me, and I said I can go up there, and then she said, well, there's more people, and I said, well, we can do a meeting up there, I can do it on Zoom, whatever, and I just haven't heard back from her yet, so. That may be something that Bear and I can just go talk to a group of people and kind of tell them what's going on up there. I've told a lot of them many a times what our plan is up there, so. It's,
You know, all those people need to do is spend about 3 months in the summer in northeastern Alabama and get Alabama clay all over the place.
Elevator mud.
yeah.
Then you'll know about what's sticking to the car is.
So I'll keep you posted on that if I hear back from them, but they're watching all these, videos, kind of seeing what's going on and seem to be getting some information from that, so. I did tell them that we're kind of into winter now, there's not much we can do, the snow hopefully will fill up some of the worst parts and have somewhat of a smooth road through the winter and. They're worried about their kids driving on the rough road and, all that stuff.
You know, when you're saying stuff about them getting that stuff on there, whatever, for lack of a word, that new stuff. Why are there no pictures being presented or brought forward?
I get a few pictures of vehicles once in a while,
Well, I
it's
mean,
hard
like
to,
on her porch or whatever,
yeah,
you know.
Deb didn't give me a picture of that, but.
physical evidence.
Yes. But anyways, the conversation continues up there, but I'm pretty much telling them we're kind of done for till spring on that, anything up there. We don't have any weather to do anything major, whether it be grading, watering, whatever we did on that first portion. Have you been up there since we did that
I
first
went
portion?
there, I go up there at least once a week
Man, me too.
and check the road out. It's not super smooth, but it's not,
Not
we've
worse
got a
than
lot
the
worse
worst,
roads
no.
in the county. As far as the concern with the safety of driving on it, it's like any road we have, it's slow down and when it's slick.
Right.
Doesn't matter if it's asphalt or gravel or maintained or non-maintained, it's winter time and we need to drive to conditions. We can't.
Yeah, we can't improve the road so
Yeah,
much.
be like the guy that came around the corner when I was going out Saturday morning. And roads weren't, still, it had snowed, hadn't snowed enough for you guys to plow. I don't know, my neighbors said, the county's not plowing, like there's not enough snow. Some guy comes around the corner on Grassy Mountain, puts his front end into the culvert running underneath my driveway. Oops. And then must have had a 4-wheel drive because you could just see where he just drove up over it.
And that's where
Did-
those
did he-
rocks are
did he
coming from,
crush it?
right?
Was
35
that-
Did he
over
crush your
35.
culvert?
No, it's
35 for the road.
I've got to get it replaced,
And
Bob.
that they're
It's
hauling about
filled
rocks
up
due to
with,
the excessive
over
speed,
the
correct?
top and underneath with so much crap. I mean, there's enough that the water gets through. But
Well, you can wash it out.
it's buried way, when it was stalled, it was put in way too deep.
A
And
lot
it's
of
always gonna
culverts
stay
in there
full,
need to be
yeah, it's
cleaned
gonna
out.
stay full. Yeah.
Ditches need to be redone.
Well, and we've got a spot in our driveway where, we've got a blacktop driveway. There's about a 15-foot section where I don't think they compacted it well enough, so it's all spidering. So we're gonna get that fixed, and at the same time, I'm gonna have culvert replaced and just run it from the road. Do I gotta do anything with you to do that? Culvert permit? All
Encroachment permit.
Anytime a driveway is installed or modified, it requires an encroachment permit.
right.
I didn't get.
How much does that cost me? $15?
75.
$75? Damn.
Paid full price for the culvert instead.
Well, I'm probably gonna be talking to you to figure out have you come look at that, see what size culvert I should put in.
15-inch.
How does that first part of Corbin look? Is it holding together, that part we fixed?
Yeah, but it's all holding together. The road's a rock.
Yeah.
It's not coming apart.
That's gonna hold together till the end of time.
It's just not
Probably so.
super smooth, and I really think that the biggest issue we have right now is that the milling machine did not grind up the chip seal small enough And even like a regular gravel road where the rocks are eventually rise to the surface, that's what's happening with those chunks of chip seal.
Yeah, it seems like chunks this big
Yeah.
came out of the surface of that road all the way along it.
Yeah, anywhere from a 2 to 6 inch chunk of chip seal all the way up.
That's right.
When we fixed that lower portion, I probably threw 200-300 chunks of chip seal out of the winter road, just trying to get it out of there and, you know, to make it a little better. And I don't think there's a way we're gonna get rid of it. What I would like to do when we go back in is we have our rock rakes, but on top of that, we do have a little hole behind the tractor. It's a rock windrower that runs off the hydraulics and spins a spiral tooth apparatus. And I'd like to go rip that up and then run that across and try and get as much of the small chunks and everything as we can out of it and then lay it back out. And hopefully that'll help.
Yeah, you can see those as you drive along, you know, just a big spot in the road, just like a big rock that's been pulled out of it.
Seeing what it's done and seeing what's going on, I really believe it's the chip seal that's causing the problem. I think if it would have been straight gravel, we would never have a conversation on that road. Cause it's definitely solid. There's no arguing how hard that road is.
Plenty of polymer.
Yeah.
Good. Anything else for the good of the order?
No, everything is good.
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 Sunshine.